Mr. President, respected Secretary, dignitaries, guests, and participants. Those of you who have come to Nepal from abroad, I would like to welcome you in Kathmandu. I'm happy that Government of Nepal, Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation is hosting this event while Nepal Tourism Board and PATA, Nepal Airlines Corporation are organizing partners, and PATA Nepal chapter is executive organizer with all tourism associations as partners of this important program. This event is first of its kind in Nepal with a relatively new theme, Bloggers Conference, taking place on the eve of Himalayan Travel Mart 2017. This event happening in Nepal is a great opportunity for the promotion of Nepalese tourism worldwide. Tourism is a priority industry of Nepal, and government has also earmarked it as an important source of revenue and employment generation. But there are many aspects of Nepali tourism that we must understand if those of us in this room today are to share the idea of traveling in Nepal to the world. First, let us look at the conventional tourism that brings people from all around the world to Nepal. That tourism is based on our natural heritage. But how long will this last? From our mountains to our rivers and forests, in other words, our trekking, rafting and safari sectors will all be affected locally due to a global phenomenon. Our flights will be delayed, our roads will be blocked, the flows of our rivers may become more unpredictable. Much of what our tourism industry is based on is what we inherited from nature, from the earth, and perhaps even by virtue of luck. But the last 5 decades, our tourism sector and the national economy has benefited from it by working in a certain model. But the global and local events, some of them beyond our control, will shape it whether we like it or not. And for a country whose tourism sector is at the moment almost entirely based on nature tourism, outside of pilgrimage tourism, the next generation of tourism industry leaders working in Nepal must take the lead on addressing this intergenerational problem. But how? Perhaps we should let the world know of the changes, and that some of what can be seen as it has been for decades will no longer be the same soon, within years, be it our forests, or rivers and mountains. So we need to say, come now, come soon to visit Nepal. The second also, though, is to highlight our living heritage, the tangible and intangible ones, that is still so vibrant and such an intricate part of the life and communities in Nepal. With that, I would like to request you to watch a short videos on one such annual event. Is fine. Always powerful. Festival like this, big and small, happen on a weekly basis, just here in Kathmandu. Currently, data shows that tourists spend just a couple of days at most in the valley and spend most of their time outside, which is fair enough. But I believe there may still be a room to tell the story of our cultures and festivals to the world, so that even if the number of days they spend does not increase, at least the days they do spend in Kathmandu is filled with as much richness and experience as possible. Another conventional idea is that Nepal is for budget tourists, and there are no high-end options available. That may have been the case for a long time, but in fact, in recent years, there are some unexpected and exceptional travel experiences available in Nepal for what can be defined as luxury travel. In the mountains, now you can take a helicopter to the world's highest resort and do the Everest for breakfast package. This is what I'm talking about. And you can see these in photos, videos, you can find in a number of online medias. In the popular lakeside town of Pokhara, now you have hotels that will cost you several $100s a night and offer you a service that deserves that price tag. Then if you move down to the extremely popular Chitwan National Park area, there are two luxury options have come up. So those are three quick things. Adopting our nature tourism with climate change in mind, highlighting our living heritage, and letting the world know that there is a new level of tourism being developed in Nepal. Now, what is often overlooked and not even considered is that Nepal makes for a great destination wedding country. In fact, we already have big weddings from India taking place in Kathmandu, top hotels like Solti or Hyatt. Recently, we saw an international couple do their wedding photo shoot on Everest Base Camp. But there are so many unique destinations that are underrated here. And Nepal has private logistical companies available to manage and offer services needed for these kinds of nature boutique needs. But how will you, the global travel blogging community, come to know about all this? Maybe some of you come to Nepal regularly, so you have an advantage. Maybe some of you have good links in travel sector in Nepal, so you have your own advantage. But what I do want to urge folks in this room to consider doing, especially because this is an online forum we are talking about, is to follow Nepali media and blogs that do highlight tourism and heritage and culture from Nepal. That way you add one more advantage to your knowledge. They are already producing videos like the ones we have just watched. So you have a ready-made content to use. And they're often sharing lots of photos and lots of videos and lots of written content too. In this event, there are a total of 107 bloggers from 33 countries gathered in Nepal, and that's fantastic. And I believe all of you will be sharing Nepal, your tourism experience on your blogs. Social media has become phenomenal today in every sphere of life, be it political propaganda, or business promotion, or marketing, or anything of this personal interest. I myself rely on my social media platforms for the biggest outreach. There are quite many inspiring and professional presentations today and tomorrow. I believe this will provide a good platform for all the tourism and entrepreneurs and media to share with each other and complement with each other for the good of both the sectors. I'm sure audience will benefit a lot from those and from the experts' papers and presentations. I have heard on June 3rd and 4th, there is business to business among more than 100 national, international buyers and sellers on this occasion. This will definitely contribute for the better understanding of Nepalese products and will give more confidence to international buyers and sellers about Nepal. I thank the organizers for organizing such an event in Nepal. I would like to welcome all international delegates to Nepal. I thank for inviting me. And also I wish them this mega event a resounding success. I wish all the best. Thank you very much.